Hey guys, welcome back. It's AP Gains here, and I'm doing a little bit of an unorthodox video. Now, I had someone comment, this guy, a different name on YouTube than Crossfaith here in Galaxy of Heroes, but he commented saying, let me pull up the comment. He says, thank you for the guide, but I'm still confused if I should gear up first or bring my characters to 7 stars first. And he wants to know my opinion on that. So, let's get into it. Alright, so let's get the initial question out of the way. Let's use Bosk for example. I'd say 7 stars is more important than working on gearing your characters up. Gearing them up is usually much quicker than getting them to a higher star count. So if we use Bosk as an example, let's say I have a gear 10 3-star Bosk, or I have like a gear 8, 9, 7-star Bosk. I'd rather have that 7-star Bosk because I have all of the hard work out of the way. I can farm my stun guns for all of my characters, and when I feel like throwing some gear on Bosk, he's going to become better. Once you get that 7 stars out of the way, you kind of just can work on other things, because so frequently you're always working on getting more 7-star characters for more legendary events, more events like when the assault battles come around, and you need to actually have 7-star characters to participate in certain levels of events. I'll bring up an example personally. The Sith event came around the other day, and I have 4 Sith characters. I have my Relic 3 Vader. I have my Gear 12 Palp, my Gear 12 Nihilus, and my Gear 12 Scion. So that's 4 strong characters. I could do the 7-star event with just those 4 characters, but I didn't have another 7-star Sith, so I couldn't do the event. So what I had to do was I had to go back and I had to 7-star Dooku because he was the closest, so that next time around I'll actually be eligible to get those good rewards in the assault battles. Now, having that extra 7-star character didn't really help me because those other 4 characters carried the battle, but it's kind of like an entry point into the events. Same with raids. Like, I have a decent Shock T team, but my ARC Trooper is 4 stars. So when I throw in a Shock T team in a raid, it's not going to do much because I don't have that 7-star ARC Trooper. I wish I could use my 4-star ARC Trooper just to get a couple extra hits in for Rex's Annihilate, but I can't. So I personally believe that the 7-star is a higher priority than gearing up in the early to mid game. Obviously, gear becomes important late game when everyone just has 7-star characters. So in that regard, gear is also very important, but I'd say prioritize getting them to 7 stars first. Now, another thing he wanted me to do was to quickly go over his roster and kind of explain how you turn a roster into a viable Grand Arena team, or Grand Arena roster rather, not just a single team. So I looked over his roster. Hyperdrive, it said he started like the 20th of April. So this is a relatively new account. But this Relic 5 Zeta to Anakin is definitely good enough. At what's his GP? I could probably find it somewhere if I tried hard enough. I just don't know where to look. Alright, let's just forget about that. He probably has a decent GP for early to mid game, but this Relic 5 Anakin's really going to help. So, general strategy at low to mid game for Grand Arena is try to gatekeep them from full clearing and save enough squads to quickly and efficiently one-shot all of his teams and his ships. So normally what I do is I have a really weak Geonosian Brood Alpha. I throw it in the back. I put decent squads, but not my best in the front. So he's like, oh, this is all the guy put. I'll just throw my heavy squads, get good banners. And once I get to the back, I have Geonosians, and I don't have my Padme or my Traya to beat it. I hate how it keeps throwing up ads, even though I do love Cabela's. So I would say put your Geonosians on your back wall. Put your, let's say it's 5v5 right now, so you need 5 teams or 4 teams, depending. Save those best teams for X the number of defensive slots that you have. Save those teams for offense. Make sure they're teams that can get high banners. I'll talk about that in just a second. Put your remaining good teams in the front wall, Geonosians in the back. Therefore, he's going to use his heavier squads early to try to get efficient banners because he thinks he's going to beat you in the banner battle. He's going to realize that he can't beat your Geonosians because you have strong Geonosians. And he's going to get there and he's not going to be able to full clear you. So all you have to do is full clear and you win every single time. Now, there's a few teams at this state of the game, and by this state of the game, I mean early to mid game, they can actually beat Geonosians, Traya, and Padme. If you can pull out a Padme or a Traya early, And often at this GP, no one's having Traya because no one's been in the game long enough to get Traya, especially not with the Zeta. So all you have to worry about is your opponent's Padme. So if I'm facing this guy in Grand Arena, I go into his roster, I see he has a pretty good Padme team. I'm either going to worry he's placing it on defense. In that case, I have teams to beat it. Or I'm going to try to bait this out early with like my 6th best team, which is probably like your Separatists or something like that. So if I can bait out this Padme early, once he gets to the Geos, if he has no Padme, he has no shot. Because the Geos just can't be killed unless you have leadership abilities that specifically are good against all of the extra attacks they do. So that's one thing. All right, so next order of business is roster efficiency. Now, this right here shouldn't have done this. I get that you use his capital ship, but keep him at gear 8. I don't understand this at all, to be perfectly honest with you. I guess it was for Shock T, but this is probably like an 18k GP character, which is unnecessarily boosting your GP, making it harder for you in Grand Arena. Get your Darth Vader up. Darth Vader just became super powerful. You need this guy. This guy, I use him solo for 64 banners every time on offense. Get your Darth Vader up. And this is a common mistake I see. People go heavy on clones. Here, I understand you're using your clones for your Padme team, but I just want to talk about this point. People go heavy on clones with Shock T. This is a decent Squad Arena team. Terrible Grand Arena team. Shock T is a terrible Grand Arena team early mid game. Can't get good banners on offense, and a Padme can wipe the floor. Like a gear 8 Padme team is beating your super OP clones. Like that's just how it works. There's so much attacking out of turn that Padme is going to eat that alive. So if you place it on defense, it's not really doing much. You're new, so obviously you're not going to have Jedi Knight Revan. You have predictably a decent Phoenix team, like most people at this grade. Get your Django up. I know I'm like the only person who harps on Django is way better than everyone else thinks he is, but I think Django is one of the most underrated characters in the game. Get your Django up, and eventually you want to throw this Zeta on General Kenobi. Even at low star, low gear, the Zeta on a Padme team is super, super powerful. You can take out one of your clones, or even both of them, and go Padme, Ahsoka, Anakin, Kenobi, and literally anyone else. Maybe Mace or Clone Sergeant. Therefore, you can save your Grandmaster Yoda for a Jedi team. You can save your clones for your Shock T team, and everything will open up. Early Zeta on EP, which is interesting. I know a lot of guides say that this is a good first Zeta, or not first Zeta, but early Zeta. I tend to disagree, especially because I use Darth Vader lead more, just because of the dots. I like how you have the 7-star Thrawn. I still haven't gotten 7-star Thrawn. Not because I can't, but because I just haven't bothered doing the event. I should probably put that in my notes to remind to do the event, but overall your roster is not that bad. You just have to understand that teams like Bounty Hunters, teams like Bastila Shan lead, teams like Darth Vader solo are what going to get you high banners, and that's what's going to help you win. So if you were to go in against an opponent, I would honestly say place your Padme on your front wall because of this Anakin. Literally place Padme, Ahsoka, Anakin, and like 2 garbage Galactic Republic teams. Once the first guy dies, it's going to trigger Anakin's like AoE. He's going to wipe a squad. Second guy dies, he's going to destroy someone. And no one you're going to face at this low GP is really going to be able to deal with a mommy's credit card Jedi Knight Anakin Relic 5. So yeah, that's my thoughts on your roster. Sorry, it's like 3 in the morning. Hopefully this was at least somewhat helpful. Oh, I accidentally hit the space bar. And yeah, good luck to you in the future.